Hello, dear survivors. I hope this quick bonus announcement finds you well. I am briefly tuning in to let you know that the Life After Discard with Lauren interview with yours truly is out. The name of the episode is Life After Discard with Raysa, and my name is spelled Ray, as in Sam, A. I will be linking it to the show notes. Lauren's podcast is focused on healing from narcissistic abuse. And in our conversation, we talked about red flags in narcissistic or abusive people. I shared my tools for healing, and we talked about so many other things. And I want to go ahead and invite you to listen to the episode. And I want to thank Lauren for hosting me on her podcast. That was the first time I have ever done an interview in another podcast in terms of talking about my personal story and my journey with my mental health. I've done interviews before for other things, but that definitely was the first one for this type of content. I personally felt like going into the interview, like I felt nervous. I was so so scared I was not going to be able to enunciate much, or that I would make no sense whatsoever. And then I heard it back and I was like, oh, okay, all right. I sound fairly cohesive. So I feel proud about that. I really do. And I feel really proud of myself for trying something new, especially something that meant for me relinquishing my control. So far on this podcast, I get to edit it. I do have a privilege in having full control over what I'm releasing. And when you're a guest in someone else's podcast, they're in control of what's getting released, essentially. And it felt a little daunting to know that I was coming on a podcast where I was not going to be the person editing it, and it turned out fine. So I hope I get to do another interview in the future. For now, you can listen to this episode. Reflecting back on what my life was looking like when that episode was recorded, I have to say it almost baffles me, because when the episode was recorded was mid-April. It was right after that trip where the cabin bit me. I got bit by chiggers. And actually, if you Lauren only released the full audio for it, but there are video clips on her Instagram page, and I'm actually tagged on it. So if you go to the Hello Trauma Brain, you'll also see the clips on my Instagram account for the podcast. I know where the chigger bites are, and I could see the one chigger bite peeking through the top of my shirt, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right, I had the chigger bites back then. To look to be in the future now from when that was recorded, and to know that the chigger bites will clear up, and to know that things will get better. And honestly, I almost canceled that interview because at the time I didn't know it was chigger bites. I wasn't sure if it was a spider bite or something more serious, and they were not looking great at the time. And I knew I was going to have to go to an urgent care, and I almost postponed the interview so I could go to the urgent care immediately. And then I kind of thought to myself, okay, the bites look awful, they're very uncomfortable, they hurt, but I don't feel like my body is in imminent danger. So I figured it wouldn't make a difference if I got to the urgent care an hour later. And turns out it did not. And from where I am now, I can recognize that I made the right call, and I am very glad that I did that interview. So I will link the episode to the show notes here, and I would love to hear what you think about the interview. And the last thing I will announce is that the finale for season 1 of Hello Trauma Brain is going to be released on June 27th of 2024. So we're only a few days away, and I will talk to you soon. In the meantime, I hope you stay well, and I wish you healing.